What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome back to another week of Movie Mondays. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit-chat about everything to do with film. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Shaun Meehan. Shaun, how is it going?
It is going well, Connor. Resident warm boy Shaun Meehan here. It's fucking roasting in Ireland.
Heat wave.
Hottest day, possibly the hottest day ever. We're still waiting on results to come in.
In the history of time. Yeah, we're doing good stuff for the earth.
Yeah. Oh, it's all going to be fine in the end.
Self-high five?
No, not for that, Connor.
It's one of those where we like throw up the hand like high five and like the earth's like, no.
Like, no, fam, not today.
Not today. I am sweating.
I'm not in the mood.
So, I mean, look, Movie Mondays, we haven't really done a lot of movie news for the last few weeks, just due to the fact of you had Miss Marvel, then you had Thor, we had reviews to get to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on in terms of like actual media that was put out.
Yeah,
instead
and
of just stories about the media.
So we had to unfortunately talk about stuff. I didn't like that, Shaun.
Gross.
I don't want to watch things. I want to click through Netflix after for 2 hours and say, well, there's nothing there.
I want to skip the first 3 paragraphs of every news report and then see the content I originally looked for.
Actually, very early on in this episode, Shaun, have you seen DB Cooper? Where Are You? On Netflix?
I have not yet. It's on the list because we are obsessed with DB Cooper, the both of us.
So, DB Cooper, this is nothing to do with movie news, so if you come here for movie news, just give me 30 seconds, okay? DB Cooper is a guy, he hijacked a plane in 1970, and he was like, give me $200,000 and I'll leave. And so they got $200,000 onto the plane, and then he leapt out the fucking back window with a parachute. But he asked them for 4 parachutes, so they couldn't rig it, so it wouldn't work, because they didn't know if he was going to jump out with an air stewardess or something. So they're like, okay, well, we have to make all 4 of them proper parachutes.
They actually have to work as parachutes.
Yeah. And so eventually, he just disappeared. They never found him.
Never been seen again.
He's the only hijacker that's ever not been caught.
He's fully gotten away with it. There's a theory that Tommy Wiseau, who made The Room, is DB Cooper because Tommy Wiseau came out of nowhere and had a load of money to buy film equipment.
Hang on a minute. Can I give you a pre-show review, Shaun?
Oh, please do.
Sorry.
Oh, is it not great?
It's 3 episodes of them going, don't know who it is, but it could be him.
Is it like that fucking... There was a documentary made about Al Capone's vault, and it was like an hour-long documentary about them being like, and this is the vault, and this is what Al Capone made all this money, and this is where all his money was stored, and then they broke into the vault and it was empty. And they were like, we expected that.
It's just like when it's her episode, they were like, could have been John. I didn't think it was John though. So there you go.
Could have been Ted Cruz.
And then we fucking thought it was Jim, and we looked at him for a little bit, and was it? No, it wasn't.
3 episodes. How long are the episodes?
About an hour and 20 each.
Oh, fuck. Oh, Jesus.
No, I think they're like 4 each, but still too long.
Too long.
So, look, this is Movie Monday, Shaun. Enough reviews of random Netflix shows. If this is your first episode, we don't normally do a review straight off the bat, but if you could give us a review on whatever podcast platform that you're listening to this
fucking
on.
Nice one, bud.
Oh, man, I think that's the best one we've ever done.
I think quits here.
It would just really help us out. Just give us a 1 click. So, Shaun, we're starting off this week. We're kind of picking up where we've been talking the last few weeks, and that is Thor, Love and Thunder.
Okay.
So, we did the review, and we thought it was grand. We had fun with it, but it was grand.
It could have been better, but I don't regret watching it.
I won't watch it again, but it was grand.
Yeah, pretty much that.
But Taika Waititi, there have been reports this week that he was given a runtime mandate for Thor, Love and Thunder, which may answer some of the issues people had with the movie itself, such as Gore the God Butcher never butchers any gods. We never see him do anything.
Well, we hear a lot about it. There's characters who are very underutilised and given nothing to do.
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie in particular deserve more screen time, which is why it's weird that they would mandate a 2-hour runtime on a film like Thor Love and Thunder, which is coming off the back of a very successful Thor movie.
And even like say the Mighty Tour, like all of that takes place off screen with Natalie Portman. She just kind of turns up and she's there. Oh, she's been at Asgard for weeks. Has she? Are her and Valkyrie
We just
friends?
saw her there this morning. Like,
I suppose so. But apparently that what happened was they kind of told him, because I mean I think a Taika Waititi movie is a lot of improv anyway. He did say there was like a 4-hour cut of this film.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to get them down because there's so much content going on. Maybe they want to avoid the Avengers Endgame every single 2 months that they put out a film.
Maybe. Like, yeah, there is a lot to be said about a film that you can just sit down and watch in one sitting without having to like fucking dehydrate yourself or whatever before you go in. The thing about it is though, like, even something like Spider-Man, which came out, that was 2 hours 20 minutes, I think. Spider-Man No Way No Way Home, that's the one. And like that, like, I think if you cut 20 minutes out of that movie, it becomes much, 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 much worse because nothing has time to breathe.
Yes.
So I think a film should be the length it has to be. I don't think you should say make a 2-hour film.
Well, I think the mandate was that he had to bring the movie in under 2 hours. So I think it ended up being 1:57.
It's
maybe?
1:59.
Is it 1:59? So yeah, exactly, just under 2 hours. So, and I mean, it kind of does make sense for a whole bunch of reasons. One, I mean, it hasn't really got the reaction fanfare that people were expecting. I think that it might just used to be the fact that it's just going so quick, it's hard to connect with anything in the film itself. But also, I mean, we've heard stories for weeks. Jeff Goldblum, Peter Dinklage, Lena Headey. I mean, they're all meant to be in this movie, and they're not in the movie. So
yeah, they were cut. Like, those are big parts to cut.
And to me, when I was watching it, I was like, I don't understand. Like, why would you bring Jeff Goldblum in? Because I know they're like really good friends. Why would you bring him in, have him just do a day's work, and then just not have him in it? Like, for no reason.
Yeah, and like even like the bringing in Eitri, Peter Dinklage's character, like that's a lot of effects and CGI that you have to do for bringing that character in.
How many times did he have to shout, "Where's the handle?"
Look, I don't mind that character. You were vehemently against him.
Where's the handle?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good imitation. But like, there's a lot of work to go into that. Lena Headey, massive actress, would have loved to see her in the MCU, but now that's just gone.
Yeah, it kind of didn't make any sense. The longer after the movie I went, the more I was like, it's just weird. Like, it's not even bad. It was just like, that's a bit weird that you would bring all those people in and then cut them all.
And you'd keep all the goat jokes that you put in there.
And then keep all the goat jokes. Unless, for example, you have a whole bunch of scenes with Gore, you have a whole bunch of scenes with all of those other actors that are all going to be in this. And then you get the man that has to be under 2 hours. And so at that point, it's like, right, well, I'm going to cut all the fun cameos that are just with my friends. We just got to get to the main bits. We don't have time to even see Gore butcher anyone. He's a killer.
I suppose so. Like, if it's a case of like, oh, have this fun little cameo that is a gag, like it's just for a brief laugh, then get rid of it. But like, I would have liked to see more of Gore in that movie. So if they cut any of the Gore stuff, that's disappointing.
Now, are you saying Gore is in violence or Gore is in the man Gore?
The man Gore. The man.
And maybe he like partakes in some Gore-ish violence.
I'm not even here for the Gore, Connor. I'm here for Gore as a character.
Oh, see, one is two Ors.
Yeah, sorry, not Gore. Gore.
Yeah. So are you saying Gore?
I'm saying Gore, but you're thinking like Gore.
This is getting a bit like the squealing goats.
That's just what this podcast is. Has been from the start.
It's been 300 episodes of squealing goats. My question to you is, the movie we got, I think it fucking sprints. But alternatively, is it worse if it goes for Taika Waititi probably wanted it to run for about 3 hours, full of gags, for like 2:45, which is better?
If it was this film spread over a longer time, I think it's a worse film.
I think so too.
But if there's additions made to this film that rectify the bits that I'm missing, then it's a better film.
I think there's large bits of this film that they could take out and then like replace them with Gorr the God Butcher and Valkyrie and Jeff Goldblum if you wanted, that would make it better, rather than let's add another 45 minutes.
I think so. Also give me a Beta Ray Bill, maybe. That's all I ever wanted in this movie.
You had a massive prediction Beta Ray was in this.
I was so sure we were seeing Beta Ray Bill.
If someone doesn't understand who Beta Ray Bill is, Shaun, who is Beta Ray Bill?
Imagine exactly the character of Thor, but he's a man with a horse head.
He's just a horse.
He's a horse. He's Horse Thor. Like, that's his whole thing. He's got me all near. He's a Horse Thor. It's a whole
Where's
thing.
the horse? Imagine that. Imagine that scene.
That's probably what was cut in the end.
Peter Dinklage, I still have a gripe with that performance, right? That guy is so good at acting, but that is such a shit performance.
Look, he was on limited time. He had to get a plane the next day.
He's so good, and I was just watching it going, this is terrible. How did this make it into this movie?
Can I just say on this as well, do you think there'll be a rallying fanboy call for the Waititi cut of this movie?
I think he's already come out and said that he's not going to do it.
Good. Because don't continue that precedent.
No, I think it would make it worse. I genuinely do.
I don't want to see that. Like, it's just going to bring even the original cut down in my estimation.
I think don't muddy the waters. Just cut your losses and just be like, okay, well, Ragnarok was a great success.
Yeah.
This one
still made
success.
heaps of money.
Heaps of money, and it's a middling success in terms of how people felt about it. So, I mean, what can you do? People hated it, people loved it, and most people, I think, were probably somewhere in the, I wanted to like it, but it wasn't really what I expected.
Yeah, I would have liked more. I would have liked better.
I think that was the vibe I was getting a lot of people like, I don't want to be mean about it. But I'm just like, it's like I expected a really cool present on Christmas morning, and I was like, oh, I got a bag of carrots.
Yeah,
cool.
But like, if you told me that I would prefer Ant-Man 2 over Thor Love and Thunder,
yeah,
like I would have called you a liar, Connor.
Oh, strong words.
Strong words from a strong man.
It's always the strongest men that say that.
That's true.
That's a guarantee.
We do tend to do that.
So, Shaun, we're moving on to our next piece of news, and we talked a little bit about a live-action Hercules movie that is in the works recently.
Mm-hmm. And is there updates, or is it cancelled fully? Because
this has nothing to do with live-action Hercules.
Oh.
But it does have the words live action at the start of the announcement.
Is it? Can I ask, is it Disney?
I mean, who else?
Sorry.
First of all.
Okay. What could it be?
Animated. And it's Disney. And then recently when we talked about Hercules, we were kind of discussing, well, they're kind of running out of 90s movies. They're going to have to move into the 2000s, aren't they?
Yeah.
And we agreed, well, yeah, they'll probably have to go into maybe 2000, 2005, somewhere around there. Shaun, what is the next live action Disney movie that we're looking forward to?
Dare I? They wouldn't give me a Treasure Planet, would they? Would they?
No, more mainstream.
Lilo and Stitch?
It is Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, it's going to be monstrous. Oh, it's going to be horrendous.
Lilo and Stitch is getting a live action movie with the director Dean Fleischer Camp, who will helm the live action Lilo and Stitch.
Okay.
Now, look, I feel like in terms of the director itself, I don't know if it's going to be on him. I just feel like the announcement of a live action Lilo and Stitch in general should be discussed in terms of how great an idea it is, Shaun. I'm assuming you're thinking fantastic.
Okay. I saw Lilo and Stitch in the cinema when it came out, and I loved that movie. That's like one of the first films I remember like crying at. Because it's really nice and sweet and heartfelt, and he learns a lesson, and he's a cute little cartoon alien dog fucking yoke.
Yeah.
And there's like, look, it's also gorgeous animation.
Yeah.
Like, it's like all the backgrounds are watercolour, but they're cell shaded. Like, it's so fucking nice. Oh, maybe it's the heat or the 2 coffees and a Monster I've had today, but I'm really wound up about this now. Oh no.
Do you know what the best thing is, right? Is you hate live action, and I hate them as well. But I know that if I just let you go, you'll just make yourself angrier the more your brain figures out what it's going to be.
I will continuously wind myself up. I'll just be an echo chamber of hatred.
I think Lilo, easy enough to kind of cast.
You can cast a child. Yeah.
I think, now look, I don't think it's a bold call to say you could cast a child, Shaun. Even an older sister. I think casting choices.
Nanny. Her name is Nanny. Then you have David. He's the surfer boyfriend. Yeah. Well, love interest.
All easy. David Spade would be the surfer boyfriend. But Shaun, where the problems may lie, if I was to maybe come up with maybe a certain problem, is you have a blue dog alien looking York that is in, I would say 95% of the scenes of the original.
He's in the title.
In the title. So a title character. Tough to have that integrate seamlessly without looking batshit weird and fuck, we've got a Sonic situation again.
It's going to fall somewhere between Sonic and Yoda, I feel.
Are they going to go try Baby Yoda this?
I think they're maybe like a Baby Yoda Sonic with like a, you know, that fucking dog CGI they did in Into the Wild with Harrison Ford. It's going to be like is there going to be a like who? Okay, actually, okay. Sonic Rocket Raccoon is what they're going to end up with. Maybe a pinch of Baby Yoda in there for earage, but it has to interact with real human characters. And also, notice I'm calling it it, whereas if I was talking about animated Stitch, I would say he, because that has an actual, like, he has an actual personality in that original movie, and he doesn't look like a freak.
It's just, I don't know, what's next? I mean, I think Monsters Inc. would be a fucking funny one to do. Let's just...
That's an interesting one, because that's like CGI, like that is...
Yes, there's not humans in that other than the child, I suppose. So you have Boo, and other than that, you have nobody.
Yeah, but like I feel like those characters would translate to the real world because you would just like add some extra like shadows and lighting to them, and then you already have those 3D models. So
okay, Lilo and Stitch is what, like 03, I think. So I mean, by this match, Shaun, we're working our way up because they've ran out of 90s movies. So this is next, and I think this could be one of the worst. Could be good, but I don't think it will.
No, I think it's just going to be worse. Like, it's just going to be the same story, but worse.
A shot-for-shot remake of a movie that's good and make it slightly weird looking.
Like, that's the whiteboard that's in Disney HQ at the minute, and they never wipe it off. That's the thing. It's just that for years and years and years. That's all we're going to get.
Lion King completely. I was just like, lads, this is the same movie. Like Aladdin. I was like, lads.
It doesn't have any of the magic of being like, oh, someone drew this.
Someone stitched the outfit. Someone did the CGI.
No, like, yeah, maybe. But, like...
It's just a very tough CGI job.
There's just going to be no soul in this movie.
No.
Like, it's going to be an empty shell of what Lilo and Stitch really is. Also a very good TV series, by the way, back in the day.
They got a TV series, didn't they? Like on Saturday mornings.
It was like Adventures of Lilo and Stitch, and all of the other experiments landed down on the Isles of Hawaii.
I mean, Buzz Lightyear had one as well.
Buzz Lightyear Star Command. Fucking great series.
Can I ask you a question, actually, just I thought of last week was how long before live action Buzz Lightyear?
Oh... See, we've already gotten that new Buzz Lightyear movie.
See, that's not live action, though. I'm talking full live action remake.
Oh, man. I think I'd give it maybe 10 years.
2030 announcement, 2032 release.
Yeah, and it'll be called, they'll just call it And Beyond. That's all they'll call it.
I was thinking Lightyear.
Oh, well, the new one's called Lightyear, though, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I haven't even... we all just called it the Buzz Lightyear film.
That's true, yeah. Aren't those the tyres that Lightning McQueen wears?
Oh, it's all stitched together, Shaun. It's all Lilo and Stitched.
Would we get a live-action Cars movie?
I think that's Top Gear.
Owen Wilson doesn't feature as heavily, though.
That's a series of Top Gear. Owen Wilson just driving around cars saying, wow. Shaun, I think we do need to move on, because
Good.
I don't want to talk about something that's going to annoy you. I want to talk about something that might, I don't know, perk you up.
I'm sorry, have we met? What happened to Connor?
Look, here's the thing. We're best pals. I'm just trying to look out for you.
It's never stopped you before.
Yeah, but maybe one of these days it will. So I have Ryan Gosling news, Shaun, and that is he's interested in playing a certain role in the MCU, as he's kind of recently he turned down the role of Nova. There was rumours that he was being considered for the role, and he shot them down. But then, following it up, he expressed interest in reprising Nicolas Cage's iconic role, Ghost Rider, in the MCU.
Oh, I kind of like that.
What do you think? Gosling as Johnny Blaze?
I think he'd actually be really, like, you know his character from Drive?
Yeah.
I want him to play it exactly like that.
Not like his character from The Nice Guys.
That could a peppering of The Nice Guys and a little bit of The Notebook, perhaps.
Okay, a little bit of The Notebook.
Just a bit in the rain is all I want, and it's all sizzling off his head. It'd be great.
Rachel McAdams burning to death.
No, because she's in the MCU as well.
Of course,
be a whole big reunion. No, I like that idea. I think he could do, because I like an older-ish Johnny Blaze as well, and he's what, like 40 something now.
I would assume he's like 40. But he was on a recent podcast with Josh Horowitz, and they chatted about the Nova rumours, which he said aren't true. But then he also reached out to me to say that there is one superhero that he wants to play, and that is Ghost Rider. So, I mean, Gosling kind of has that sway. If he says, I'd like to play that character, I feel like the MCU might be dumb if they don't say, well, we might bring him in for maybe an audition.
Yeah. Do you think he'd be up for, though, the commitment of, like, look, if you do this, you're in these movies for 10 or 15 years. Like, because Ghost Rider is, like, a main character.
He is, but he's also all CGI for most of it.
That is also true. And there have been several Ghost Riders as well, so he could hang up the handlebars.
I mean, you'd only be needed to make the deal with the devil.
Yeah, well, Mephisto. Well, is it Mephisto? Well, okay, so
because Mephisto's in WandaVision coming out last year, wasn't he?
If they don't put Mephisto in WandaVision season 2, it's going to be hilarious. But look, first of all, I think Ryan Gosling just likes motorbikes.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think that's mainly the reason why he wants to do it. But yeah, he would be mostly CGI for the most part. I also think he'd play very well with, like, say they did a Midnight Suns and they had, like, Blade, Mahershala Ali, you had Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch, and you had get Moon Knight in there, and maybe the Black Swordsman. You got Kit Harington involved. So
you got Kit, you got Gosling, you got Oscar Isaac, Mahershala Ali, Benedict Cumberbatch. Oh, who's the last one?
I think that's everyone, was it?
Is that the 5?
I said 5.
Okay, that's the 5. It's a pretty strong team.
Pretty strong team, I would say.
Just in terms of star power, like, people are going to tune in to see them team up.
I think so, and then, like, maybe get, like, an Elizabeth Olsen in as well.
Just to fuck all of them up.
Just to destroy everyone and make them all
absolutely murdering them all.
But I think he would work well in a group, and also I think he's clearly well able to carry a solo movie.
Yeah. But what about Nicolas Cage, though? Do we bring him back, or is it just we're just forgetting that?
I wouldn't mind if he showed up as, like, an older Ghost Rider at some point. You know,
what
like
if he's the devil?
Oh, he would play a good devil.
I think that's perfect. I mean, he should be the one to sell his soul.
Yeah, that would actually... Or he plays... the
dad.
He plays the dad.
Who dies.
The dad who dies, who the deal is made to save his dad from cancer. And then Mephisto, the devil, is just like, oh, fine, no bother at all. Then his dad attempts an 18 school bus jump and fucking dies.
Like, lean back into the door like, Dad, big thumbs up, you're going to live. And his dad's like, see you later, son, I have to go and do 19 flips.
Time for a celebratory ramp, son.
over that flaming pool of crocodiles.
And so that's how he dies. But he technically didn't die from cancer, so it's technically fine.
Mephisto's a sneaky fucker.
So it's an old monkey's paw situation.
Yeah,
you know?
What are they? Do you think they'll do the thing of that it's technically fine that he has sex with his stepsister or half-sister or what? What story?
That's a that's
a reference to a Hero or Zero shot. If you could explain that very quickly to the people here.
So Johnny Blaze was adopted by, I think it's Crash Simpson is his dad's name.
Great name.
And Crash had a daughter. And so Johnny was raised beside the daughter, basically from childhood. Like, they're basically brother and sister.
Very early on.
Up until about the age of 19 or 20, they get into a romantic and sexual relationship.
And during the Hero Zero, Shaun could not stress enough how it was technically fine, but morally, iffy.
A bit more than questionable, I would say. But technically fine. Like,
I like how in my head Johnny Blaze says that to everyone. He's like, this is my girlfriend's half-sister. It's technically fine.
Do you know who he is? He's that dude in Transformers who has the card saying you can have sex with Mark Wahlberg's daughter.
Legally in this state, I'm allowed to have sex with my stepsister. Legally. So,
that's all I'm saying, guys. They're like, hi, welcome to the Avengers.
Just like about to shake his hand and just like put their hands back in their pockets.
Not for you.
I don't really want to touch him. Shaun, we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and it's actually a piece of news that made me laugh.
Did a child fall down the stairs?
Well, look, that would also do it. But this week, it's Kevin Feige. Marvel boss Kevin Feige he's come out, and apparently the rumours are that he has warned Sony about its Spider-Man spin-off franchises.
Warned them, as in
he's warned them in terms of not to get ahead of themselves.
Look, quite frankly, the mouse is going to buy you very shortly.
So the idea is obviously Spider-Man is owned by Sony, but they lend him to Marvel, and Marvel in turn then give Kevin Feige say on whatever happens in terms of Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's the rough outlines of a multi-billion-dollar deal that these studios have worked out.
And so what happens is Kevin Feige comes across and he's like, we should do this, this and this, I think, with the character. Yeah. The problem is, it's Kevin Feige who's like, he's like the all-star, he's like the all-star player, and he's coming to the worst team in the league. and they're like, we've got Morbius, and we're doing, did you know that wrestler? We're doing
El Muerto. We're doing an environmentalist Craven the Hunter.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be good. Oh. And do you think Kevin Feige's in on those meetings just like looking into the distance like, lads?
I think, like the Queen, he gets a big red box presented to him at the start of every work week, and he just thumbs through the pages and just like, so he gives a thumbs up or thumbs down, but no one at Sony actually listens to him because they can't read.
Once Morbius got re-released, I think he just threw his hands up. He was like, look, these lads, don't know.
What are you doing, boys?
He must be looking to his right, and he's like, the MCU is starting to waver, like phase 4 isn't going great. And then he's like, looks to his left, and he's like, lads, I have my own shit now, right? It was good when I was coasting there for a few years. I could help. But now I have to actually help over here.
And I do think that there's a sense that Sony is actively damaging the Marvel brand at this point.
I know, because I think Spider-Man is still okay. I think the warning from Kevin Feige came from the fact that they keep trying to get ahead of themselves in building some larger universe in the vein of the Avengers movies without doing any of the work.
Without doing good movies beforehand.
And without Spider-Man.
It's a very odd choice that they've made there.
We're going to do the Spider-Verse, right? But we're not going to have Spider-Man in it. But we're just going to build it until someone fucking tunes in, right? We're just going to keep making these until somebody thinks this might be a good idea.
Let's just do it and see. It'll be fine. If we don't make these films...
Venom.
We did 2 Venom movies. They were both grand.
They were both came out. Didn't they get released?
And sure, we released Morbius twice, so that's basically 2 films.
Tom Hardy's got an Oscar. Jared has an Oscar. We're Oscar winners over here.
It's a very strange release schedule. Like, we've gone into it enough times on the show. I'm genuinely curious as to what the next stage of that deal is, because Sony clearly don't want to sell any of the characters, and I assume they just get offered handfuls of money every day.
Yeah, and actually they have Madame Web coming out now as well, which is like casting everyone in Hollywood at the minute.
Yeah, but that's another weird choice to do. Like, I don't know. The Craven one is the one I'm most angry about, because it's a terrible idea, and I don't know who greenlit it.
They picked a different character, Sean. If they wanted Craven, they should have just picked the Craven character, but they took the Craven name and they were like, well, we'll just do the opposite of what he does.
Do you know how you said you would have preferred if the Joker movie was called The Clown?
Yes.
They should have just called it The Hunter.
Yes.
Like,
great stuff.
Just make it like that, and just make a movie at that point.
Just make a cool movie about a hunter.
Because it has nothing to do with the character that people already like and would buy in for. So just call it The Hunter, and I hate it so much.
We're moving on, Sean, to our next piece of news, and it involves Ant-Man, Quantumania.
Oh!
So what's happened recently is, because we're all kind of currently waiting until all the big panels over the next month or so.
I think Comic-Con is this week, isn't it?
I think, it's the next month and a half. You're going to have 2 or 3. And it's at D23 at the... I think it's September 5th. I think Marvel have announced several rumours. Or it's not several rumours, several announcements. And so based on those announcements, people have kind of put the pieces together. So this week, I have quite a few of them that I wanted to throw at you. See what you felt about it. And the first of them is that Ant-Man Quantumania teases a new Marvel supergroup. So the rumours are that at the end of Ant-Man Quantumania, they say that there's going to be a new new Marvel supergroup formed at the end of it. The report also mentioned that it's not the Young Avengers, who many believe will appear in the film due to Cassie Lang's involvement with the group, of course. So if it's not the Young Avengers, the internet has gone wild, Sean, with theories, rumours. Which group could it be? Because if it's one of them, there's like 5 or 6 that it could possibly be.
See, it could be West Coast Avengers, because Scott Lang, like Ant-Man, is based in San Francisco. So you do have that going for you. Could be the Thunderbolts we see the first appearance of?
Could be the Thunderbolts. I've had... they have Fantastic Four.
Yeah, could be Fantastic Four with all the quantum stuff going on.
Could be Fantastic. Could it be the Ultimates are already primed to appear at Mad 3? So they could also pop up in the movie. The Ultimates features America Chavez, Captain Marvel, Black Panther, Blue Marvel, and Monica Rambeau's Spectrum. So
yeah, you have a lot of those characters kind of ready to go.
Could also be them. It could also be the Champions.
Not familiar with the Champions.
Yeah, so it could also be the Champions. So they're basically, people are just like, they have Ironheart, they have Miss Marvel, they have Nova. They're trying to pick out what characters do we have or do we know are coming that could pop up in Quantumania.
Could be the Clandestine from Ms. Marvel.
I mean, I hope not. I really hope. If anyone's seen Miss Marvel, the villains, the clandestines, they're the worst ones.
Yeah, actually, if you're listening to this, Miss Marvel went up today. So give that a listen. On the Patreon, we did a review of the finale of Miss Marvel, so head over to Patreon to check that out.
We were very positive, other than the villains being awful.
Other than the villains are the shittest ones we've ever seen anywhere.
Did you know apparently Miss Marvel's the highest rated Marvel thing of all time?
Is it?
I think it's like 97% on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever.
It's really good. It's really... Let's not spoil the review here.
There are some episodes, a bit shaky, but it's pretty good overall.
Yeah. In terms of this team, like, do you think there's space for another team in the MCU at this point?
I don't know. I think Midnight Suns you can get away with because they're kind of like a separate thing.
Yeah.
But I think once you start doing East Coast Avengers or the Champions or just like another group of heroes that also involve heroes we already know are in the MCU, I think people are just going to be like, why are they just not in the Avengers? Like, why are they in this separate team? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Now, on the flip side, like, say you did West Coast, like, it would be nice to see more large-scale battles that aren't fought around New York.
It would, but also you could just put the Avengers on the West Coast if you wanted to do it. Because, like, imagine the promotion of, like, this isn't the Avengers, this is the West Coast Avengers. We're slightly different.
Yeah. It's tough to market that, and like people will be looking for their favourite Avengers characters, and then they wouldn't show up.
You liked when all the characters were from all around the country. Well, we've half that roster, and we've taken only half of them.
What we've done is we've split them right down the middle. But all of the ones you know and love
are over there.
They're still back in New York, sir.
But now we have Hawkeye.
Yeah, like you do Hawkeye or Kate Bishop. Like you could do, like you do any number of things. Ant-Man and the Wasp seems like quite a big movie for Phase 4, given that I still don't know what Phase 4 is fucking about.
Yeah, nobody does. And yeah. I'm going to put my money on the fact that it's a Fantastic Four. I think
would make sense with the Kang involvement and everything like that.
I don't think they have the balls to introduce another like full team other than Young Avengers, because they do have young people there, but if they're like, it's not Young Avengers, then I'm like, it's got to be Fantastic Four, because I think they're the only two that I could see it possibly being.
Yeah, what if it's the Inhumans again?
I'm
What if it's the X-Men?
That, you know what? That is actually not a bad theory as well. Like, you have the X-Men as well. So you have Fantastic Four or the X-Men. I don't know. I mean, I feel like that could be just us dreaming. They're like, wouldn't that be cool? Probably be a lot less cool than we actually think it'll be. But
yeah, it'll be neat. It'll be interesting, to say the least.
Would you like X-Men to pop it up or Fantastic Four?
I think I would. I think I'd like either of them. I think we're probably going to get some kind of announcement, certainly about Fantastic Four at one of these conventions. I don't know how much of an update we're going to get on X-Men, but maybe they're like, because they announced they were working on the X-Men at the last big Comic-Con in like Hall H that they did.
Okay.
So maybe they'll have a little update. We might get a like a Professor X casting or something like that.
Oh, I actually read something this week. It was like, I mean, loads of people are throwing ideas out and like of who it could be. And the Professor X one was that they could cast the guy from the Mandalorian, but also the bad guy in The Boys. What the guy?
Giancarlo Esposito. Yes. Yeah, Gus Fring from Breaking Bad. That would be great.
Professor X.
I would love that. That man can carry he can lead a conversation.
He's chewing scenery. He's chewing scenery all day.
Your eyes are always on him. That's a really interesting cast. I like that a lot. I
have my one theory, by the way, sorry, just about in terms of the team. Fantastic Four, you have something goes on, they're working for S.H.I.E.L.D. This is why we never see them. Then for somehow they get shrunk into the quantum realm. Ant-Man has to go find them. That's why the world doesn't know about them. And he has to get them out. And that's how they get their powers instead of cosmic rays.
That would be quite cool, actually. And then maybe they knew like Michael Douglas and stuff back in the day or something like that.
The actor Michael Douglas.
Do you know they were familiar with the work of the actor Michael Douglas?
He's pretty good. They don't like Hank Pym. Hank Pym, although no, Reed Richards is like, my guy.
Reed Richards and Hank Pym, best friends.
I think like a cool handshake.
I think you're probably right, just given like the subject matter and everything like that. I think it's probably Fantastic Four that we would get. Okay.
So we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and this is a strange one, Sean. This is
a Doctor Strange
strange. Not Doctor Strange, because Daniel Kaluuya, one of the best actors working these days, Sean. He's currently appearing in Nope, Jordan Peele's Nope. It's coming out. But he's been chatting away to the Hollywood Reporter, and I don't know if you remember this, but like a year and a half ago, it came out that he was doing a dark Barney the Dinosaur movie.
Oh, I do remember something about this.
Well, we have an update in that it is still happening. They have the script nearly finalised. We are getting a dark Barney the Dinosaur film.
Kind of like a Five Nights at Freddy's, terrifying mascot kind of film.
Yeah, and I mean, I can only assume the trailer will be the I Love You song, but slowed down.
Slowed down,
and it's going to be black and white, and it's going to be him just doing fucked up shit. Like, don't they have the Winnie the Pooh movie coming out? That's like, they had the shots that came out a few weeks ago, and it's just like Winnie the Pooh with like an axe, because he's a murderer now.
It's like, which seems, I'm sure Daniel Kaluuya would do a great job with this, but like, it just seems like, what if we took Friendly Thing and made it Scary Thing? Like that seems to be like, if they do, I love Winnie the Pooh. If they had tried to do like an evil Paddington, I think I would riot.
You'll kick off. Like, you're the biggest fan account for Paddington 2 that I've ever seen.
Like, I'll be honest, Connor, I have tweet notifications turned on for Paddington the Bear and no one else. That is not even a lie. That's a legitimate. I am the first one to see any.
What
of
about
that
for this
tweets.
podcast?
Are we on Twitter?
Fuck's sake. Paddington 2 is. Connor, do you know
all the
Paddington 2
Paddingtons
is?
are. Paddington 3's coming out. It could be a perfect
Is that
trilogy.
coming out?
Yeah, it's being worked on. A lot of fear in the Paddington community, because what if it's bad and it ruins two perfectly good Paddington films?
Because I think is the current score out of 2 movies 199.
Something, yeah. For a while it was 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, you had 200 there for a little bit until one sick, disgusting bastard put it down for one sour rating.
Well, look, he's dead now, so that's remedy.
I can only assume the Paddington 2 community killed him.
Oh, we set upon him. We spread him on sandwiches like marmalade. It's a little Paddington reference for all.
Drowned in marmalade.
It was a very slow drowning, but Jesus, it happened.
And sticky. Sticky.
Then the ants came. Oh my God.
Shaun, Kaluuya has come out, and this is his pitch for the movie. He was like, I remember hearing the I Love You, You Love Me, Won't You Say You Love Me too song. That's one of the first songs I remember. And what happens when that isn't true? I thought that would be really heartbreaking. And so I just want to explore what that would all be about.
So is it that Barney is lying about loving the kids?
Maybe Barney's a sicko.
Maybe they do like a Barney Krusty the Clown kind of thing, that he's really miserable backstage.
It's just like the show ends, he just takes a long, slow drag at a cigarette.
Well, this is it, because Barney is a man in a dinosaur costume, is the thing.
Sorry, what?
Barney's a real dinosaur.
Thank you. Okay, go on.
So it might be difficult for him to light up a smoke. But
imagine they went the other way, and like he's just a literal dinosaur, and people are freaked the fuck out just a talking dinosaur.
Maybe that's it. Or maybe he's like, he's just gone insane, and he just keeps like bringing all these kids to an abandoned warehouse thinking he's in some like fantasy world, but he's just like really strung out, and he's
it's
just
like 30 years after the show's cancelled. Like he's well past it, but he's still bringing kids there.
He's like sewing the suit back together and all that kind of stuff. Then the after credits happened and Mr. Blobby shows up.
Oh fuck, you don't want that Mr. Blobby. Do people in America or Australia know, or anywhere in the world currently know who Mr. Blobby is?
I don't think you can even explain him though, because he's just this weird enigma of a mascot that was on Noel Edmonds' house party. It was
the 90s, right? We all had a different time. Okay.
Yeah. I had a Mr. Blobby stuffed animal when I was a kid.
No, you didn't.
I did, I swear to God. Man. Me and my brother had one each.
Why?
It was, I don't know. I didn't particularly like Mr. Blobby.
He's had like 2 years where he made fucking millions, and then he just disappeared. He's just like, I'm done.
He went back to Blobbyland or wherever the fuck he's from.
Of course.
Sorry, I got a weird flashback. So there's a house, right? And I think it's like Mr. Blobby's abandoned house. I think it was a set or something like that. And it's horrifying. This is shit content for the listeners.
I can only assume. But I mean, I think this could be the next horror movie if you can pitch this to me. Imagine I'm in an office. I'm the producer, and you've come to me with this great idea.
So it was a place called Blobbyland in Crinkley Bottom. And that's where Mr. Blobby lived.
What's the place called?
Crinkley Bottom. It was a house party, Connor. It was all fun and jokes. And so Mr. Blobby lived here, and this is a set, but it's just been left in the woods to decay. So it's been like vandalised and all that shit. I'm looking at it here. One of the best things is that there's graffiti on the wall, and it just says, Noel Edmonds, stop pretending Deal or No Deal is more than it is. There's a sign that says... What
a weird insult.
It's very odd. There's another one, same calligraphy of spray paint, that says, Mr. Blobby touched me.
Not as subtle in the second one.
No, it's not as cutting of a remark. There's a Mrs. Blobby there.
Funny enough, I think the first one cuts more than the accusing them of touching you, because...
because...
It's vague. But I know Edmonds would be hurt by the first one.
To see, stop pretending it's more than it is. Because you know what they mean by that.
Oh, we all know. We all know what they mean. Shaun, we're going to have to move on from... But would you watch a horror movie with Barney the dinosaur?
I probably would with a group of people. I would not watch it on my own because I would be too scared, Conor.
It's Daniel Kaluuya. He's really good. So
he is.
Why is he getting involved in this?
Maybe, I don't know. Who do you have to pay to use Barney's rights, though? Is that Mattel or Hasbro or someone like that?
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's probably one of them.
Right.
Who was the Power Rangers? Saban? I think Saban was the Power Rangers. Yeah. They made bank the other, like the 2017 movie. They were like, we're not giving it up until you pay us like $50 trillion.
They just had to keep adding zeros onto the check.
Dead fucking right. Because they were pumping out those shows for like no funding at all. They're just like,
it cost them nothing to make it.
A few clips from this. Do 1 day shooting. We call it a day.
Yeah. Oh, here's all this footage we got for cheap from Japan. Let's just splice that in with some fucking Americans.
And the lads before they morph into the Power Rangers, like one of the actresses, she's 5'2", then she morphs, she's like 6'4". Fucking hell.
Who can say how morphing really works, Conor? Some of them turn into lions.
Yellow Ranger's been benching. Fuck me.
Been benching knees.
So Shaun, we're going to finish off this week with two pretty big rumours. Two ones that are coming out to us because, I don't know, they really caught my eye, and they're both about Fantastic Four, and I thought it was important we covered some Fantastic Four news, especially because I feel like in like 3 weeks, 2 weeks, we're probably going to get quite a lot.
Yeah, I think we are. Yeah, this is also, just as an aside, I originally did a Hero or Zero report on the Fantastic Four, and I did them all together. Like as the four characters. I wish I had done them all as separate characters, because I just feel now it will be really handy to be able to refer to individual aspects of each character. So I might go back and do that at some point.
What I'll tell you now, and I've talked to the listeners, we've had a discussion.
Okay, with it behind my back.
If you ever do that, you will be kicked off the show. If you
I'm
ever
definitely doing it. So
okay, right. Well,
for
if you
a release from my contract,
you will have to do Hero Zeros every week.
Every week,
every week forever.
No,
no. I think that might be a good idea. Leading up to the movie, maybe just do cover all four of them.
Yeah, just as separate little bits. We can hear how much of a bastard Reed Richards is.
We did the same with the Eternals.
That's true. That is true. We did little separate Eternals.
Little separate Eternals. So Shaun, the two big rumours, hearsay, people talking in Hollywood, is that, first of all, Fantastic Four movie may recast Reed Richards.
So going away, spoilers, I guess, for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. It's going away from the John Krasinski very popular fan cast that they did.
I think we talked about it a little while ago, and I was like, they're thinking about it, but why would they do that? Because Krasinski's so good. But I think they've been leading up to this, because Kevin Feige, I think, even came out, was like, well, that's like an alternate world, like.
Yeah, I'm still not unconvinced that it's a double bluff, but I think it maybe it's just like, okay, we got the fan cast thing out of the way, so they've seen him as Mr. Fantastic, but now here's an actor who we can have for 10 or 15 years.
So the actor that is being chosen, or not chosen, but as the possibility
Rumours.
of, is Penn Badgley. From You.
Yeah. I don't hate that.
I mean, I think his character in You would perfectly sum up Reed Richards, to be honest.
He's a bit of a prick. All right.
So he's kind of, as you can imagine, a bit of a younger casting. I don't know what the age difference, probably isn't actually that much in between them. But it could get to the point that Krasinski's portrayal or his casting was literally just a bit of fan service in a movie that they knew he was going to, spoilers, die in about 35 seconds.
Play-Doh Fun Factory.
Yeah,
like, and I guess, and maybe he didn't want to sign up for, whatever they had in store. Penn Badgley, by the way, is 35. And if we get up Krasinski...
like 42?
Krasinski is 42. There we go.
Nice.
So not a huge amount of difference, to be fair. But I think in terms of character, like, it'll be nice to see, because I imagine they're going to lean into the fact that he's a dickhead. Whereas Krasinski seemed kind of nice as Mr. Fantastic.
I think Penn Badgley can play dickhead a bit better, because Krasinski, we like him too much.
That's the thing. And Krasinski, the most villainous Krasinski has been Jim in The Office, where he's just a bully.
And even that wasn't even picked up on until years afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. So I think having an actor who we're very comfortable with disliking, but also can't stop watching, that's quite good for a Mr. Fantastic, I think.
There's also they're also talking about even say Sue Storm being played by Melissa Benoist. I think Benoist.
Was she
Supergirl? Yeah, Supergirl. Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she's very good as Supergirl.
I think it's actually Melissa Benoist. It's pronounced,
okay.
But everyone tries to make it too fancy. I think she's gone on interview saying
maybe
that.
We're trying to fancy it up here.
Trying to bring up the class of the podcast.
You know how I am, Sean. But I think she's really great in that role. I think she'd be actually quite good as Sue Storm.
No, I think she'd nail it, honestly.
Yeah, I think she'd be excellent in that role because her positivity would perfectly encapsulate or be maybe contrasted with, the evilness, the bastardry of Reed Richards.
Yeah, but also she Supergirl, quite a strong character as well, yes. Which is something that Sue Storm has in spades. Yeah. She is one of the most determined characters in Marvel Comics. It's very hard to shake her. So I think she'd play that very, very well.
Yeah, and I think that she definitely fits in more with Penn Badgley's casting.
Yeah, I think so. And I think they're both kind of... They're not unknown, but they're not on the same level as John Krasinski for a casting, so I don't think it would draw attention away from whoever's playing Human Torch and The Thing as well. Do
you think it will overshadow it, though, that people will still want Krasinski if they recast?
I don't. There will be a crowd, and there will be a very a loud crowd who just want Krasinski to do this. But I don't care. I think it's fun. I like that the fan casting happened. I think it was a fun fan casting. But all of the Krasinski stuff came from the fact that one comic book artist happened to draw Mr. Fantastic as John Krasinski in one run of comics. Throughout the rest of comic history, he has looked nothing like John Krasinski at all.
I think people like Krasinski in the role, but ironically, him being cast actually changes the movie, because as you said, if you cast him as Reed Richards, I think it's a different plot. I don't think Reed Richards can do some bastardry, whereas he has to really be the cause for most of the the problems that the group face.
Yeah, there's a YouTuber I really like called Nando V Movies, and he did a fan casting for the Fantastic Four himself, and he talked about the John Krasinski thing, and he was like, he has a very... John Krasinski plays essentially the same character in Quiet Place and Jack Ryan or Jack Reacher, nice or whichever one he is. Nice man, hero, good all-American, salt of the earth dude. He's not going to play, megalomaniacal tyrant Reed Richards.
Reed Richards will kill 500 children to save the world.
He'd kill 500 of his own children to save the world.
It's like, if I could save 10,000 people, I would kill all of my own children over and over again.
Yeah. And this is why I want to do the report, just all the horrible things that man has done.
Yeah.
So I would prefer Penn Badgley to John Krasinski.
And so our last bit of news in terms of the Fantastic Four, and I really wanted to get your opinion on this, was that Marvel actually pitched the Fantastic Four directing duties to Steven Spielberg. So they were kind of thinking of who to direct. So I think John Watts was down to direct, and then he pulled out a few weeks ago. And now we're only learning that they may have offered it also to Steven Spielberg once Watts left.
That's fine. I don't think it being a Steven Spielberg film would change it all too much. I think it might change the visuals a bit and how it looks, but I think overall it's still going to be a Fantastic Four story in the MCU. I don't really like Steven Spielberg that much. What's the last good thing he did?
Tintin.
I forgot about Tintin.
I actually don't know. What was the last? Like, he's been down to the executive produce a lot of stuff. I don't think.
Yeah.
When was the last time he like fully directed, went all out?
Was it Ready Player One?
I think it might have been.
Sorry, West Side Story.
Yes, yeah,
which came out the same week as Spider-Man and got bombed.
Yeah, it bombed, but that was just because Spider-Man took over, and I think it got nominated for like several Oscars, so it did quite well.
Yeah. And then like before that, there was like the BFG, Lincoln, War Horse. War Horse is quite good. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Connor.
No. No.
War of the Worlds. The Terminal. Now we're getting into good stuff.
The Terminal, that's pretty good.
Yeah, Catch Me If You Can, AI, Saving Private Ryan.
He was on a streak of killing it.
He did.
Do you know what took him out? Tintin.
Tintin. You can chart the downfall, and it's
Tintin.
Well, actually, he does Indiana Jones in 2008.
Okay.
Tintin in 2011.
Oh no.
Lincoln in 2012. That's pretty good, I suppose.
Yeah.
Then there's the BFG, The Post, Ready Player One, West Side Story.
Oh Lord, Stephen. I assume they probably didn't get past would you like to direct it? And Steven Spielberg, because he's Steven Spielberg, gets first say on mostly every movie, and it's just like, nah, I'm good. And they're like, okay, cool, we'll go on to somebody else who's probably younger.
Give it to Edgar Wright.
Would you like to see an Edgar Wright fantastic? No, see, he'd be too positive. Actually, that's a good question. What way would you like this movie to go? Do you want it to go dark, 2015, fan-forstic? Or are we going 2005, bright and colourful?
I want... okay, so I want the science of Ant-Man. I want the goodness of the first Iron Man movie.
Look, any origin movie, I'd like the goodness of the first Iron Man movie.
And the world building of, I don't know, Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, maybe.
So what you're looking for is the best of the first
I want the best Marvel movie.
Yeah, well, that's look. What I'm thinking of is I'd like the Batman, but with Fantastic Four.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Would that work in the existing MCU, though, that level of
No, not at all.
darkness?
But I'd like to see it happen. I want Jamie Bell cast as a thing, and I want them to redo it again.
Okay, hear me out here. The CGI of Multiverse of Madness.
Okay,
You've got the character development of the Eternals.
We're on a roll here.
And you've got the science of... The Incredible Hulk, 2009.
And the villains? The clandestines.
Oh, clandestine are the main villain in the Fantastic Four movie.
Everyone's like, yes!
Finally!
How are we going to get around? Screaming goats. That's how we're getting around.
Probably screaming goats.
Look, I think at the minute these are all just rumours and hearsay and all that shit. It's one of those weeks where, because the big announcements are coming out like next week and the week after, they're like... I've always sometimes feel like they leak it, or they sprinkle it, just to be like, oh, there's something happening.
It's a hype building tool.
Yeah, there's something happening here. Just gotta wait another little bit.
Because I have heard there's a load of rumours going. Apparently we're getting a Black Panther trailer rumoured, which if that is released at the presentation, that'll probably come out the Tuesday after we
doing research for this show. I had the leaked, well, I say in quotation marks, leaked plot of Black Panther 2. I was like, will I do that on the show? But then I was like, no, maybe people don't want to do that.
There's also allegedly some Doom stuff that's been leaked as well. It's really hard to. There's also I'm fully sure there's a secret group on the internet who listens for the time when all the leaks start coming out and then just fucking feeding lies into that. Yeah,
I think so. So that's why. I mean, in terms of Krasinski, that's kind of based off something that we talked about a few weeks ago. So I was like, oh, maybe it is. I don't know. But September 9th is when they're going to the Anaheim Convention Center at the D23 Expo. And that is apparently when they'll make all the final decisions on casting for Fantastic Four and a whole bunch of other news in regards to that movie and lots of other stuff in terms of Marvel.
Okay.
So I think they're still waiting. It's mad though that they're still haven't cast it because it's coming out in 2024.
Yeah, I think It's soon. Like, we're halfway through this year.
Like,
so it's got to start production quite...
They're going to have to spend all next year filming.
Pretty much, yeah. And, like, there's still all those other projects that have to come out.
But I think that's it for this week's Movie Monday, Shaun.
What a week, Connor. Would you like me to take us out?
Yeah, please.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Movie Mondays. We will be back on Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, Friday with Hero or Zero, and next Monday with another delightful episode of Movie Mondays. Big thank you to everyone over on Patreon who supports us. Patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Link to that is in the description. Shoutouts, of course, go to Waffles, the marvellous god of thunder and syrup, Ciara Lawler, David Clarke, Ed Ball, Joe Burney, Róisín the wife Palmer, Ryan technically fine Evanson, Shaun Chuck in the wash and it'll be grand Jamieson, Dominic, Jessiah Florida Gal Green, Anna Hjelmroos, Lil Dicky, Come Stay Where the Dog Men Play, McGrew, Danny McLaughlin, Ray, the fabulous Frogman, Sam, Michelle Browne, Michaela Doughty, Sackman41, Frost and Buster. Thank you all so much for the continued support. You're amazing people, you're amazing humans, and do enjoy, if you're interested in it, the Ms. Marvel finale review that we put up on Patreon today. That's available for you to listen to. Other ways to support the show, we do have the merch store, heroesforhire.ie/shop. Twitter is @heroesforhirepod, the 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Diddleman's discussion group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire podcast. And the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I've been Ciara Lawler.
I've been Shaun Neal.
I shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.